this is Melody.
And welcome to the Invisible Women podcast.
Hello, IW listeners and viewers. We're excited to be back in community with everybody and kick off a new podcast on today. Today is Thriving Thursdays. As you know, we got a lot of topics to touch on. A lot's been going on, and we're excited to get into it with you. Hey,
Let's
Monica,
go.
how's it going?
Hi, sister.
Hey,
I'm
hey.
doing- How are you doing? Happy Thursday.
Yes, happy Thriving Thursday. I'm doing well, really excited to kind of get back on and record something and talk about some topics that's going on in the world today. And
How about that DNC?
ooh, I tell you, I've been having a party, just watching it, really getting inspired, empowered. And my girl, Shell, aka Michelle Obama, really did her thing, really
Yeah.
aligned with a lot of the things that we're talking about and what we're looking forward coming out of this 2024 election. So I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling inspired. I guess I got some joy today.
I was gonna say the through line for the whole DNC has been about bringing joy. So if you feel joy, I think that they have done their job in this sense. And so yes, it has been lit. I have been watching it since day one, and just some of the speakers have been spectacular. And I'm definitely rooting for Kamala for sure. You already know that. So what do we have on our agenda today? What are we talking about,
And one of
Melody?
the things that I really got most excited is seeing how deep Cali was in the house.
Oh, always.
Newsom, Malia Cohen. Oh, it was plenty of the Cali delegates representing tough. So I was excited to see the best from the West.
Of course, Governor Newsom had to. At first, he was late, if you noticed, and then they had to pass California up when they did the roll call for the
Yes.
delegate. But they saved the best for last. Let's just say that. And
Well, I didn't catch it because after I had left, I had to make a run, an errand, and I was on my phone, and so I kind of had it low. But I was like, I got to stay in hype with this party, though. So I
no,
didn't really pay attention to that. But when they said California and they played Tupac,
well, they even played our theme song what we used for the Black Women Thrive last year.
which
We
one was it?
Be All Right by Kendrick Lamar.
Ooh, yeah.
So it was a
Yeah.
good time. I'm just really happy that they're rolling out the red carpet
Yes.
for our VP because she deserves it. Qualified, equipped, and extremely capable of being the POTUS, President of the United States.
Really, and I'm gonna ask you this: where were you when you found out that Kamala was even going to be running? And how did it make you feel? Because, and I'll start off, and then next will be with you.
Yeah, go.
Actually, I remember getting a call, and it was actually the day after my birthday. So I was
Mm.
feeling on cloud nine, feeling grateful, thankful, and got that call and really was like, what is going on? But at that moment, there was a moment of excitement to see a change in leadership, but
Mhm.
also there was a little bit of, I don't want to quite say sadness, but a little somber feeling because I know as a Black woman, running up for the highest seat, right, in the nation, what was going to come with that.
Yeah, of
And
course.
it really aligns with our work, our advocacy, and what we have been championing for, diversity, equity, and inclusion just in the workplace, in society for Black women and girls. And I knew immediately, oh my God, that she's already probably experienced it, but we're going to see it on a national level publicly, the racism, the sexism, all of those microaggressions. And we've seen
Well,
them unfold since
yeah, but I think
then.
to your point, Melody, we did see that with our first lady, Michelle Obama. We seen her being
Absolutely.
called a
Yep.
monkey. We seen her being
Yes.
called ugly. I mean, really challenging her education. And this lady is highly educated. And so
Right.
one
Right.
of the top schools that there is. And so we have seen it before, but what we're seeing now is it's being paired with Trump. So you're
Right.
seeing two extremes. right? You're seeing people that are for it, that are loving Kamala. You know, we're all rooting for her, but then you see the flip side of it, which is the Trumpers, which are the MAGA folks that are making it definitely about race and about gender, right? Because not only are they asking her, are you even a black woman? But then she was called by JD Vance a cat lady because she doesn't have any biological children. And I
Right.
take offense to that because I biological kids either right now. And
Mhm.
so, you know, it's like, why are you calling someone a cat? You don't know what their story is. You don't know. They could have been just into their career. They could have not met the one. They could also have issues. You
Right.
know,
Right.
womanly, a number of things while you're just going on a rampage calling someone a catwoman because they're not a parent, if you will, a mother. So, you know, it's things like that. But one thing that I do know about Kamala is Kamala, she knows how to rise to the occasion. And with
Yeah.
that being said, I mean, she's holding her back strong. She has 10 toes down and she is ready for this. And she's actually built for this, quite frankly.
I mean, I think that she's definitely climbed the ladder politically and even in the legal field just to get to where she is today. So definitely think that she's qualified. And
Yeah.
you know, like I said, I just know that it's not going to be an easy job. And one of the things that you had mentioned that really got me thinking, you said that a lot of the folks that are, you know, not for her and
Mm-hmm.
also getting in on a lot of this name calling, microaggressions, things that's going on. It's not just actually MAGA.
Right.
It's people too that just feel like maybe I was on the Democrat side, but I don't want to vote for her because there is a lot of division, you know, about some issues that were put over some of her policies, right?
Yeah.
Mainly around the incarceration that people were saying of Black men for, you know, cases such as, you know, marijuana. But the thing is, do some fact checking because a lot of this information people are getting high level on social media. And one of the things I say for me and for my household is I want to pick someone that's going to align with the values that's going to help propel us forward,
Yeah.
and not just because of you saying that she got Black men locked up. Because as we know and we've seen that there were a lot of other programs that she put in place. And let's not forget Kamala is here, Oakland, California, so repping for the Bay.
Right.
And so
Right.
there's several reasons why I would definitely vote for Kamala.
Yeah, and I think to
Kamala.
some folks that are questioning that, you know, look what she did or didn't do for people or the things that they felt that she did wrong. On the flip side, since they have so much time to dig into her past and her policy and things that she made happen, have they looked into Project 2025? Because that's really what's at stake here is who are you going to vote for? Ethically, morally, who would you align most with? So
And
are you telling
economically,
me,
let's not forget that piece.
yeah.
Economically.
So are you telling me that, okay, you're saying that she put people in jail. She was a DA. That is a DA's job. And let's look at some real numbers because I don't have it with me, but there was like, let's just say out of 300 people, there were less than like 20% that had got locked up with this scenario that people are referring to of her locking Black men up. So it wasn't like all, you know, there's 50 people and all 50 people got lucky.
Mhm. You
Even
going
like,
around looking for
it was
Black men
very
walking
low.
around.
Exactly. It was very low percentage. But like I said, the same people that are doing this much drilling down, have they drilled down on Project 2025 and really read on what their plans would be for someone that looks like you and I?
I know that's right.
I
Crack
mean,
the
because
book open and
that's,
read it.
you
And
know,
a lot
all
of folks
BS
have broken
aside.
it down, and a lot of folks have broken it down in layman terms for someone that's like, okay, this is very high level. What are they talking about? But for
Yep.
me, I'm pointing out the areas that's going to take us back economically, take
Hmm.
me back mentally, and
Yeah.
not really set us up for legacy and generational wealth like the billionaires and anybody else that don't look like me that would prosper from something like that.
Yeah.
And so, no, I'm not gonna play with my livelihood and play with the future of me and mine. And
Yeah.
I'm going to go with uh, Kamala and Tim Walz.
I mean, and even better yet, you know, they're trying to take away abortion rights, and they have in some states, right? We've seen it already roll out and play out in real time. But even
Absolutely.
Washington DNC, the young lady that came on, I think her name was Crystal or Christina. She was pregnant at 12 by her father,
Mm,
her own father, and so she needed to have an abortion. So it's situations like that
yes,
that it's not always about a woman being irresponsible. There are situations where things happen and tragic things happen and you need to medically get an abortion. So
that's
when we're
true.
talking about something like that, Trump doesn't want that. JD Vance does not want a woman to have rights and be able to govern her own body.
That's right.
That's the thing. So when you guys are talking about I'm not voting for Kamala, well, what would you want to vote for? And it's not going to suffice to say I'm not going to vote, because now
Yes,
you're playing a really deadly game in terms of your livelihood, economics. Even if you have children, that's not going to be beneficial again for someone that looks like you and I. And even if you don't look, even if you're not a black person in general, it's not going to benefit long term, right? And so we don't need to give this guy 4 years to play around.
I
We
know that's right.
let him do it on another playground, but it doesn't need to be on this playground. This
Not
playground is
on my
for
watch.
adults.
That's right. Not on my
You know,
watch.
even think about what Oprah and I like President Michelle Obama mentioned it too, that it's not going to be easy. Let's get ready, because it is going to get tougher as the days shorten and we get closer and closer to elections. We already know that things are going to come out. We know
Yeah.
that they're going to keep talking about Kamala trying to sway your vote, and a lot of it is lies, right? A lot of it is not truth. But we have to be able to stand firm too and figure out, if we don't want to vote for her, who do we want to vote for? Because right now you only have a choice between Trump and Kamala. So then you choose.
And one of the things that I know that we just talk about, because, in our household growing up, we've always had civic engagement conversations, right? Because mom and dad always told us to use our voice. So that's probably why we talk about the topics we talk about, because we're going to speak truth to power, baby.
Yeah, we had two Aquarius parents, so you know how they get down.
And so yeah, so they raised three amazing soldiers that don't mind standing up for what's right. And when it comes down to where we are today, we want to be on the side of the values that feel right for us and our communities and our families.
Mhm.
And just one thing that really just sticks out when it comes to, the Kamala versus Trump is Trump is pretty vocal about what he wants to do with the economy and even in communities that look like us. So to sit up there and let, some of the misinformation come out about Kamala, and it's going to start spinning real quick, even the closer we get. That's why I'm
Right.
really excited tonight to really see her lay out her plan of how she's going to move us forward, because I'm speaking from a perspective, right, from a black woman, but I think at the end of the day, her main goal is to try to uplift the middle class, and I fall within that. And as we know, you can be middle class and still be trying to make it. And so Trump's policies don't
But
align with me and where I see the future going as a entrepreneur, and even for my daughter growing up, it just does not align. So, most people might say, well, they're trying to get you guys to vote just because you black, don't mean you got to vote because she black. Well, you're absolutely right. We don't have to vote just because she's black, but we also need to vote because her policies would align with my black life in many ways.
that's
And no
right.
one's perfect. I mean, I'm not expecting Kamala and Tim to be no savior, because they're not. And I think what we have to do too as a community, we have to continue to use our voice, our influence, and our power as well to really hold our elected officials accountable for the things that we want to see, the changes that we want to see. You can't just go and vote on November 5th and then sit back and then say no work has been done. They need your help as well. And
Mhm.
so we need to be able to tell them this is, I know I got my list of things economically, what I want to see as a Black woman, as a mother, as an entrepreneur, as a, just somebody that's ambitious and want to be able to build legacy and wealth. I got my things laid out. Let me go down a list and see, does it align with a lot of
Yeah.
your policies to push us forward?
Yeah, yeah. And I think, Kamala will be able to confidently lay that out tonight or during her speech during the DNC,
Yeah.
because she has briefly given that to us in the past. Remember, she did run up for president 4 years ago, and then
Yes.
became VP. And so I'm sure a lot of her goals and ambitions for America has slightly changed just based on where we're at today. But again, I am more than excited to see her confidently lay that out because I know that she will. And then the next thing is, in regards to Trump, he lets you know very clearly how he feels about black people because who even says blacks? Like when he said the blacks and black jobs, like it just very much sounds pre 1950s. And I'm like, and why do you feel that black jobs are only service jobs? Like the people
Well,
that I
Michelle
know,
sure let him know the other day. She said, "Did you know that
the
you
people
are
that I
trying to
know,
apply for a Black job, right?"
I'm saying, I mean, nothing wrong with the service job. Don't get it twisted,
Right.
but I mean, we're everywhere. We're very much everywhere. You got VPs, you got heads up, you got management, you got entrepreneurs. So we are doing all jobs. I don't know what you quote unquote consider a black job, but like you said, they let us know a black job is a president. So it
But
sounds like you.
I just wanted, when you say that, one thing that came to mind because we've had some conversations on different platforms over the months, talking about Black women's equal pay, just Black women in the workplace. And we had a conversation with someone, and the question had came up about why do you think that, what are some of the barriers that Black women even face when it even comes to equal pay or being passed over? And one
Okay.
thing that comes to mind when I think of Black jobs is that uh, America hasn't seen many Black women be in leadership roles enough. We've
Mm,
had some, because of course somebody said, no, well, I know such and so. Yes, there are definitely some, Black women bosses that are out there, but
mhm.
we haven't normalized that.
Yeah.
Seeing
Well, what
Black
the
women
problem is
lead.
that is when it comes to black women in leadership roles and actually seeing it, is we're considered the minority when it comes down to being in leadership roles. So whenever you have the minority, right, it's a little bit rare. And so, yes, to your point, you do not see enough heads up. You don't see enough CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. You don't see it because they don't, media controls everything, right? Media controls everything because sometimes when you get in these groups like
Right,
yourself, you do
right.
find out, wait a minute, it is a lot of us that are millionaires. It is a lot of
Exactly.
us that are doing their thing in terms of business concerns. So we have to be careful with the media because the media is only going to sway you the way that they feel that it needs to be swayed. Always remember that the media is controlled by the powers that be. Okay. So you do that
And
what
who
you
were
will.
these days? No.
I'm just
We'll leave
powers
that off.
be. And so, we have to, that's why it's important to read, do our own research, because if we don't, we'll just be left with a lot of falsities, a lot of lies, to be honest.
And and that's the thing, as we're storytellers, change the narrative. And that's
Yeah,
what I see Kamala doing, is changing the narrative of what you think a woman of color, a black woman with Southeast Asian descent, where she stands and that she can lead this country. And
right.
I think that's going to be so pivotal for me as a adult. I think for the girls behind us, like my
Yeah.
daughter, and many,
Mhm.
to be able to see a woman in the highest office and a woman of color. Because like you
Yeah.
said, we have to normalize seeing that. And I think
And
that that's going to be the change that we really need to get the nation going, that Black women can be CEOs, Black women can be millionaire, more of them. Yeah, we got your Oprahs, one in few, very few, but we need more. Madam
Right.
C.J. Walker told you that centuries ago, right? As
Did
the first Black woman CEO.
Yeah. And Melody, you
I
mentioned
mean,
something
millionaire.
about
That's she was a CEO too.
exactly all things. And you mentioned about her race. I love the way Kamala has not played into that
Yes.
because Black
Oh, yeah.
women, we're falling out of this stage of needing to prove to you. I'm not going to prove to you that I'm fully Black. I'm not going to prove to you that I'm qualified. You need to go check out my resume. You need
Yeah.
to do a little bit of research on me because I'm not going to sit here and go through a history lesson with you in regards to my race and my education and if I'm
Mhm.
qualified. And so I love the way how she's not playing into that, how she's just moving along, like I said, shoulders back, 10 toes down, and just continuing doing what she does and what she's good at, which is gathering the people, giving the people joy and something to look forward to in terms of this new imagery of a woman can be the president of the United States because we've never seen it.
That's
We've
right.
seen run. We've seen that good stuff, but she was not up there to be nominated to be, hey, I'm going up. It's only this or that, Republican or Democrat. And so, again, I'm just really excited. And I'm glad that you mentioned Madam C.J. Walker as we get ready to wrap it up. But today marks 60 years since Fannie Lou Hamer's This America's speech at the DNC. And
Mm-hmm.
you guys look that up. But one of my favorite quotes from, Fannie Lou Hamer is, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. And
Ooh, yes.
I think that will resonate with a lot of our listeners because even currently today, when I think about just all this campaigning and what the Republicans are doing and how they're trying to, go on a smear campaign and all that, all this is normal, right? Because it's politics. Politics
Mm-hmm.
is never nice, it's never sweet, it's always going to be nasty and messy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's just like we're tired of it. It's old. What you're talking about is so old. It's so come with something else. And so another quote that I like from hers, and you can tell me how you feel about it, but nobody's free until everybody's free.
Oh, yes, right. That's right. And both of those, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and
Right.
nobody's free to everybody's free really takes me back to our work that we started in 2016 when Hillary Clinton was up running as a woman for
Yes.
president against Trump.
Yep.
And at the time when we started our project, I don't even think we knew that Hillary was going to be a candidate.
Right.
But here we are now, a little under 10 years later,
Yeah. 8 years.
having a Black woman go up against it. And like we said, we are tired of being sick and tired because we all know the barriers that we talk about and many other Black women talk about that we face, the unfair pay in the workplace. We want to be able to build economic stability, a lot of
Right.
housing insecurity. We can't get all the access to funding. We're sick and tired of that. So we do need a new leader in office that can understand the Black woman's lived experience.
Yep.
Because like she said, we are not all free. Say it again, we are not free until everyone's free, right?
Yeah. We're not free until everybody's free.
And I like that because even when we talk about like equal pay, Black women have one of the widest pay gaps. When we talk about women's equal pay is in April, then Black women's equal pay, as we just spoke on, is in July. And so Black women are not free yet. And when women were able to vote, Black women still wasn't able to vote at that time. So
Right.
I take this very personally to be able to have the privilege to use my vote, to use my voice, to use my power, to really push for the change that I want to see for myself as a Black woman and for other women that look like me. So all I say is get out there and use your voice and vote.
Yeah.
Vote, vote,
And I
vote.
And I don't think it's really a matter, honestly, of her race, right? Because we've had a Black president. We've seen a
Right.
Black president.
That's right.
Really, this is boiling down to our infamous quote: the Black woman is the most disrespected. This is about a Black woman. Okay, those are the things that are really preventing this. Because, like I said, it's not really about being Black because we had Obama and everybody loved, well, majority of people loved Obama
Yes.
and still do, right? So it wasn't about necessarily, oh, can we have another black president? No, now it's about, can we have a black woman?
Oh,
Because see,
that's
a
good.
black woman, now we talking about a whole nother level up, right? This is going to be amazing, and black women are amazing, and I think that other races are, they knew that and they understood that, but now they're seeing Kamala on your TV and probably walk out on those stages at all those
Mhm.
rallies and come on tonight.
Mhm.
It's very it feels surreal. That's how it feels. It feels surreal. And you can tell a lot of the speakers feel the same way, because it's just like this, we are excited, we're happy. It almost feels like a childlike. And one last quote that I'll leave it off with is from Fannie Lou Hamer is, I'm showing the people that a Negro can run for office.
Mm.
Now, mind you, this is 60 years ago. Fanny had this dream. She had this vision that, hey, I'm going to show you guys that a Negro can run for office. And so not only have we had Obama, but now we have our first black woman soon to be president. And so if that doesn't give black women hope, our listeners hope, it should. It should, because as you mentioned, to go up against and go for the highest position that there is, it's no easy task. But look how she presents herself. Look how
Oh, yeah.
she comes out. Look how she talks to us. I mean, it's effortless. When she has every interview, I have yet to see her stumble. I have yet to see her, choke up on her words, stutter. I mean, because this is in her, it's in her, it's on her, and she can do this very much.
And I think, we've seen this play out in different scenarios, many of times when others see a black woman that is powerful, bold, articulate, instead of seen as a good thing, is seen as a threat,
Yep.
because we have not normalized seeing that enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we have to keep building communities that we do, so that we can champion for black women to keep showing up bold, powerful, confident, take up space. You belong, you are enough. And we're going to keep doing that. And we're going to see more of that. And so I'm excited. I'm excited in my spirit. I really, really am, because
Yeah.
we have some great things that we're going to be revealing and projects kicking off. And it's our time. That's just the way I feel. Everybody can feel how they want to feel, but I think it is our time. You're getting ready to see how black women lead.
Yeah. And I think this is the time to uplift black women. This is the time to, most importantly, uplift Kamala Harris, VP Kamala Harris. She needs us to uplift her. Talk about her on your platforms if you're for her, if you know the experience of a black woman. Uplift. I mean, that's what leaders need, most importantly, because let's never forget, it's a lonely place when you're a leader. She is the only black woman running up for this. So who does she really have to turn to? You can get all the advice from Obama, but Obama is still a black male. They could relate to him
That's
for being the same gender. So she is in a lonely place, but guess what? Not for long, because all of us, we're rallying behind her, and who knows who's going to be up next. I mean, her cabinet, she haven't picked those folks yet, but so you're going to have a fresh new cabinet that's going to come in when she makes president. And so it's just exciting. And I'm definitely going to be uplifting her every chance I get, and voting for her, most importantly.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we got to continue to make sure that we're getting our local elected officials as well, because those are the people that's going to be champion for the things we want to see in our communities. It goes up the ladder, up the ladder. Kamala is the last to see a lot of that. So that's when we have to step out, champions, show up bold, powerful, and confident. Not just sit back on the internet and talk about what people not doing and should be doing, but let's focus on what you should be doing. So
Okay.
we've been doing the work. We're going to keep doing the work, and we got
Yep.
some great things coming. So we're excited to, get back and keep chatting with y'all. So we're going to end this podcast, but keep listening, because we got some more good stuff to come. Happy Thriving Thursdays. If you haven't checked